Nothing in this world can take away your worth. You only can give it away and start to live like you don't have it. But nothing can take away real worth. You can take away that fake worth, that worth in your bank account, that worth in the titles, that worth in, your position in this world. You can take away that, but you can't take away real worth. You can't take away who I am, right? Who God created me to be. You can't take away that. No matter how you treat me, no matter what you do to me, no matter what you say about me, you can't take that away. No mistake, no failure, no anything can take that away from you. You are worth it. You've been worth it. You will forever be worth it. David, thanks for lighting it up. Come on, y'all. Get this energy up. I know it's what's today? Wednesday. But listen, this is what I want to say to y'all today. Okay? I'm going to calm down. I'm going to protect my peace. This is it. If you understand this one thing, it will help you love yourself and live in your worth more than ever. Fortunately, most of us, it's hard for us to do. But thanks for the stars. I appreciate you. This is what I want to tell you. How can I put this? Well, let's just keep it straight up. Stop losing yourself to please someone else. Stop losing yourself to please them, to please they, to please whatever. Stop losing yourself to please how people feel about you. Stop losing yourself to please opinions about you. Stop losing yourself to please gossip about you. Stop losing yourself to please the perception about you. I got to be real with you. I know so many times in my life, the times that I lost myself is I was trying to prove myself. Let me tell you right now, you're trying to prove yourself to things that are committed to misunderstanding you. Some of us, we're losing ourselves. Can I be real? You're losing yourself chasing after things that don't serve your life. You're losing yourself chasing after things that don't belong in your life. You're losing yourself trying to make people see in you what you see in yourself. Stop losing yourself trying to please them. Give it to yourself, y'all. I got to say this. I know you heard me say this a million times for the last 10 years. You tell people how to treat you by what you accept. And I'm going to say it till I leave this earth. You tell people how to treat you by what you accept. You tell people how to treat you by what you accept. You should tell yourself that every day. I tell people how to treat me by what I accept. At some point, you got to stop begging for things to be and stay in your life. You are telling yourself that you are not enough. And a lot of us, we're chasing things that aren't enough for us. We're losing ourselves trying to chase things that aren't enough for us. And I'll tell you like this, there will always be something wrong about you to people, to a situation, to a job, you fill in the blank, that is not right for you. So some of you are thinking, oh, it's something wrong with me. It's something wrong with me because this person doesn't like me, because this person doesn't see my value, because these people don't give me love. It's something wrong with me. No, those people aren't right for you. You have to realize that. And I'm not telling you to take this out of context. I'm not telling you to be an evil person and say, oh, nobody likes me and stay evil. I'm not talking about that. But you have a pure heart, right? You have a gift inside of you. And a lot of you, what you do is you're waiting for other people to verify what's already been verified. God has already given you worth at birth. So why are you seeking this thing in the world to make you feel worthy? You're seeking things to make you feel worthy that can't make you feel worthy. And that's the problem. You got to stop losing yourself to please all these people, because I'm going to tell you right now, 9 times out of 10, it's nothing you can provide to please those people. It's no perfection you can provide to make them satisfied with who you are. They're always, to the people that always find something wrong about you, let me give you a hint. They're always going to find something wrong about you. No matter how perfect you are, no matter how much you give them, no matter how much you're a slave to their requests, you will never be able to do enough for a person that literally is committed to finding something wrong about you. And not even just a person, to people, to a job. You got to realize that. Stop tiring your worth in things and putting your worth in things and telling your worth to things that literally cannot give you that. You've already been given worth, but you have given away your worth to certain things. Some of us, we're begging to have toxic back in our life. We're begging to have people back in our life that aren't good for us. We're begging to have friends in our life that don't support us, and you're losing your life begging. No more begging. You're going to stand on your worth this year. This is the year where you stand on your worth. This is the year where you live unapologetically, right? You're going to read this book, right? Non-unapologetic principles. This is the year where you live unapologetically in everything that you do. If they don't like it, oh well. If they don't agree with it, oh well. right? If they don't like what you're living and what you're doing with your life and it's positive, they can subscribe to somebody else's channel. If they don't like you no longer being a slave to them, they can find somebody else to be their slave. If they don't like how you're not bending over backwards for them, they can find somebody else to bend over backwards for them, right? No more of losing yourself for things that you know that don't deserve you. Let's be real. Some of us, we live in a lesson life because we are lessening ourselves for things that don't deserve us, and you know it don't deserve you. But you think you need these things in your life to live your best life. Not anymore. This is the year where you stand on your worth, man. This is the year where you tell yourself, I'm worth it. I've been worth it. I will forever be worth it. I will not budge. I will not bend. I will not fold. I will not retreat on who I am and what I stand for. You have to, because if you don't, what's going to happen is you're going to take less. Some of us have taken less, not just in relationships and friendships, but less in this world. Some of us literally, we've allowed this world to put a price tag on us, and we have lived a lesson life our whole entire life because we're so afraid of what people are going to say. You know what? I don't let people put a price tag on me. I know my worth. If you don't agree with my worth, okay, cool. You don't agree with it, but I'm not going to allow your lack of agreement on my worth to determine how I feel about myself. If you don't agree with my worth, then find somebody else. I'm not the man for the mission. I'm not the man for the job, but I refuse to sit here and lessen myself to please you. Because the truth is, the things that you lessen yourself for ain't going to be there for you in your hard times. Ain't going to be there for you in your future. But some of us, we lessen ourselves. And y'all can type in the chat right now. You know I'm telling the truth. How many people have you lost yourself for that's no longer a part of your life? How many people have you lost yourself for that's moved on with their life? How many of you have lost yourself for a job that's replaced you as soon as you made a mistake? Like, let's be real. So if you want to start loving yourself more, you got to stop losing yourself for the wrong things. You know what I mean? You got to stop losing yourself for the wrong stuff. And how you lose yourself is you give your worth away. You give your self-confidence away. You put the value of you in somebody else's hands. Who has your value right now? Her, him, they, it? Who has your value right now? What do you mean, Trent? Who has the value of how you see yourself? Who's controlling how you see yourself? Who's controlling how you see yourself right now? Is it you? Is it what God said about you? Or is it how somebody feels about you? You got to answer that question. And I've been in times in my life where somebody else had the value of how I saw myself. And I have to remind myself, like, nah. How they see me is how they see me. It's nothing more than that. What they say about me is what they say about me. It's nothing more than that. How they feel about me is how they feel about me. It's nothing more than that. It's nothing more than that. Is what it is. I'm not going to make that be something more than what it is. And when a lot of us, we do that, we make opinions become facts. We make people's unsolicited advice become our truth. We let people's lack of support determine how we feel about ourselves and believe in ourselves. Like, we allow all these. That's why when you get this book, you're going to realize, like, this is an internal thing that you got going on. It ain't nothing to do with anybody outside of you, right? All this external stuff is just external stuff. External stuff is doing what external stuff is supposed to do. Life is supposed to life. That's what life is supposed to do. It's supposed to give you opinions. It's supposed to make you feel like you ain't worth it. It's supposed to give you all the stuff. It's supposed to be inconsistent, everything. But when you do that internal work and you bulletproof your worth, and your worth doesn't budge because of a failure, because of a mistake, or because of what somebody says about you, or because of a lost relationship, or because of a firing from a job, you realize I'm worthy regardless. All right, next up. Right? Next. What's next? I'm not going to sit here for the rest of my life and allow a situation to determine how I feel about myself for the rest of my life. You can't do that no more. You got to pick yourself back up and remember your worth. You're worthy because not of how anybody sees you. You're worthy because not of what you achieve. You're worthy because that's how you were created to be. You are one of one. You are a rare individual. And when you truly realize that, you walk into that. Some of y'all don't realize that. You might say it in the chat, but you don't realize that because you'll be living different. You'll be acting different. You'll be walking different. You'll be thinking different. The energy in you would be different. When you really believe that, like, I know I'm rare. Not because I'm some special person, because you ain't going to find another Trent Shelton in this world. There's only one. Might be people who look like me, talk like me, sound like me, whatever like me, but they ain't me. Can't nobody beat me at being me. And I know that. Right? So while I'm not going to try to be somebody else, I'm not going to trade in who I am to please you. I'm not going to trade in who I am to fit in. I'm going to be me because I know I'm the best at being me. I can't be them. I can't be that. I can't be who you want me to be. I can't even be maybe who you need me to be. I can't even be who you think I should be. I have to be who I am. And hopefully I continue to grow into who God created me to be because I am not there yet, but I'm on that journey. And a lot of us, can I be real, like we are losing ourselves because we are allowing somebody else to determine how we should live our life. We're allowing somebody else to determine what's good for us, what we should be doing. And I get it, having wise counsel around you, it's a whole nother conversation. But I'm talking about these people that can care less about you, that are controlling you. I'm talking about these people that ain't never been there for you, that are controlling you. I'm talking about these people who will never show up for you, that are controlling how you feel about yourself. At some point, you got to wake up and say enough is enough. At some point, you got to get sick and tired of being sick and tired. At some point, you got to stop begging for people to see your value, to see your worth. And I'm just going to be honest. Some people don't agree with this message. Cool. I understand that. But I know in my life, what changed my life is when I really started to really embrace who God created me to be. The gift that he gave me. My gift might not be good for other people. Some people might say, oh, you're not doing it right. Cool. Your opinion of me is not the truth of me. I know what's in my heart. I know what's aligned internally in my soul to do what I do. And I'm going to trust that because I've lived my life so much in my life pleasing everybody else. I live my life trying to make everybody else happy. I live my life trying to be everything to everybody. You know what that led to? Me not loving myself, me being depressed, me being stressed, me not loving my life, me living a settled life. I refuse to go back there for anyone or anybody. I refuse to go back there. And some of us, we don't have that non-negotiable in our life. We negotiate our worth too much. You negotiating your worth that you've been given. You negotiating it. You lessening yourself. Oh, okay, well, you know what? Maybe a little is better than nothing, so I'm going to accept this. You know what I mean? Just a little, I'm so afraid of having nothing in my life that I'm going to accept being treated like less because less is better than nothing. Last time I checked, less is lower than nothing. It's a negative. Some of you got some negatives in your life because you don't want nothing in your life. You feel me? You got some negatives in your life because you don't want nothing in your life. You're so afraid to not have anything, so you settle for anything. And how is that working out? Well, at least I'm in a relationship. At least I got this, but let's be real. Are you really? Are you in a situation that's making you feel like you less every single day? And I'm just keeping it solid with y'all. Some of you with a job, I know some of us got to work a job and we can't leave a job. This is not the conversation, but some of us, we settle for any opportunity because we think any opportunity is good for us because you don't know your worth. I say no a lot. I say no to things that are beautiful on the outside. I say no to great opportunities. You know why? Because I know my worth. I know my worth. I know my value. And I'm not going to allow anybody else to make me feel guilty for charging my worth, for knowing my worth, for demanding my worth, for living in my worth, etc. I'm not. Because I know what the alternative is. To please the world that ain't going to care about you. To please the world that ain't going to be there for you. To please the world that ain't going to be there in your lonely nights. To please the world that ain't going to be praying for you. That's what you living for. This world. Really. So this is the year. With your permission, this is the year. With your permission. Thank you, Melissa. I appreciate you. This is the year. With your permission, because it starts with you. With your permission, this is the year where everybody who hurt you, did you wrong, counted you out, etc., will watch you heal and go live your best life. But you got to know your worth. You got to demand your worth. You got to take your worth out of places that's made you feel worthless. And I know it's easier said than done. But when you realize how much it's costing your life, you realize that it must be done. And it gets a lot easier to actually do it. I know it's easier said than done. But when you realize how much it's costing you, you realize how much it's hurting you, you realize how much it's tearing your life apart, it gets easier to get it done. Because you realize what's at stake. And what's at stake is your life, your happiness, your peace, your soul, who you are. Like it's a life or death thing for some of us. Some of us don't feel alive because we're keeping our worth in the things that's making us feel like we dead. Emotional deaths is the greatest deaths. Emotional death is living but not feeling alive. And emotional death is waking up every single day to the beauty of life but feeling like life isn't worth it. And some of us, we are choosing an emotional death by keeping our life in things and in places. And not just people, y'all. Like I know y'all like to talk about relationships. I'm talking about life in general. I took myself out of situations that were very profitable and beneficial to my life. Because I realized, like, if I stay here, I'm never going to really know my true worth. I'm okay with that. But I'm not losing myself anymore for anybody. I refuse. You know, life is already hard. A lot of us, we make it harder by keeping our worth in places where it shouldn't be at no more. So I'll ask you this question. And as you get the book, you'll work on this a lot deeper, right? Type peace if you don't have it yet. Go to TrentShelton.com, go to Amazon, right? Pre-order it. Protect your peace. But I'll ask you this question. Again, who has your worth? What has your worth? Right? Like, what's going to be the thing today that you say no more? That you say, you know what? I'm not losing myself no more. I'm not losing myself for anybody no more. Right? I mean, we lose ourselves as a believer, right? We lose ourselves to find ourselves in Christ, right? As a believer, right? I get that. But some of you losing yourself to man. You losing yourself to woman. You losing yourself to job. And you're not going to find yourself in that. So you got to make a decision, like a real decision, and you got to be real. Like, I mean, I don't know how to say this any other way, but do you really want to die unhappy? Like, I'm asking you that. Like, do you really want to die unhappy? Do you want to live a life where you literally are dead while you're alive? And there's so many people in this world, because I've been doing this for 15 years and I see my inbox every single day. There's so many people that's choosing death instead of choosing life. Because choosing life is hard. Choosing life is uncomfortable. Choosing life means I have to do something unfamiliar. I have to make a decision and a choice. Choosing life is I have to go through times where I might be judged for walking away from something, from starting something new. That's choosing life. But a lot of us, we're so controlled by outside things and perceptions and how people feel about us and see us and all the things that we will literally stay in a death, and actually go choose life. So what's it going to be, my friend? What's it going to be? You know, your worth, for me, is through God. That's who told me I was worth it. So no matter what anybody says, no matter what mistakes I make, failures I make, shortcomings I have, I'm still worth it. I'm worth it. And I will never, ever doubt and question my worth again. I will never turn my back on my worth again because of how someone sees me or how a team or job or whatever treats me. I will never determine my worth by losing something. I lost things this year that I'm not going to be a part of next year. It's easy for me to say, dang, I'm not good enough, or I refuse to go to that. I just say, hey, it's not meant for me. That's it. I want you to live a better life. That's what I want for you. You know, because it is available. Like, I know sometimes we've been in the pain so long. We've been in the toxic so long. We've been in the mundane of stress so long that we forgot that happiness is still an option. It is. Happiness is a choice. Happiness is an internal job. No matter what people say about being external, happiness is an internal job. I can choose to be happy right now, despite what I'm going through. I could be going through the hardest time of my life right now, but I can still choose to be happy because I can look around and realize how blessed I am. I can look around and realize, like, you know what? I don't have everything, but at least I do have everything. I got life, right? Some of us been in the hard so long that we forgot that peace is still an option. It's still there. But you got to choose. And then once you choose, you have to remove the things that are keeping you from these things, right? There's a process that takes. You can't just expect things to just fall off from your life because you're hoping and wishing things will change. You have to do the action. And again, I know it's easier said than done, but remember, when you realize how much it's costing you, it gets easier to do it. It gets easier to do it. And there's so many things in your life that you know that is true, right? Right? Comment yes right now if you know this is true. There's so many things in your life that you know that what I just said is true. Because we can go down a list of things that are easier said than done. But you know if you don't get it done, how much it's going to cost you, so you do it. It becomes easier to do it because you know what? If I don't get this done, then I know what's going to happen later on. And that's the problem. A lot of us don't future think. A lot of us don't go in our future and actually say what's going to happen if we don't get it done. And that's the reason why we don't make decisions, because you make decisions on things that you know how much it costs you, the opportunity cost. you know, if you don't take out your trash on the day that it comes, you know, like it's easier said than done than taking out the trash, right? You got to put it in the thing, grab the 2 or 3 trash cans. You got to drag it out to the street. Like my street is far from my house. So I got to drag it out, walk. It'd be cold, right? It'd be hot. It'd be early in the morning, right? Trash be stinky, all this stuff. But you still do it because you know if I don't take out this trash, then I'm going to have a lot of trash in my house. I'm going to have a lot of trash in these trash. And trash is going to pile up. I might get rodents. I might get, like, you understand that. So guess what? It becomes easier to do it because you know you don't want the alternative. You might say, Trent, does that have anything to do with what you're talking about? Everything. Because when you know the alternative with your life, aka how much it's costing you, it becomes easier to do it. Right? Just like you know with that trash, if I don't take out that trash, it's going to lead to more trash, more stink, more rodents, more things I don't want to see. Well, if you don't take out the trash in your life, we just call it trash today. If you don't take out that in your life, the things that are keeping you from your worth, what does that lead to? You're not loving yourself more. You're not appreciating yourself more. And that's the foundation to life. I will argue that to the death. That's the foundation to life. Because when you don't love yourself, when you don't feel worthy of anything, you don't believe anything is possible. And when you don't see a way, you don't think there's a possibility, it becomes hard to live life. Like when you don't see there's a way out your situation, you don't see there's better or possibility things will get better, then you just give up. When you don't think there's a possibility to win, you just accept losing. Impossibility is one of the greatest gifts that we've ever been given that's underrated. Just the possibility that there could be better. I hold on to that. Some of y'all know my most powerful quote that I tell myself, right? It could be worse. It will get better. That it will get better is giving me possibility. It will get better. So I hold on to that. And 9 times out of 10, it does get better. So I wanted to just speak to y'all today. I know it's a random live, 11 a.m. Thank you for being here. And listen to today's podcast. Like you get a treat with the book. So if you're on the edge, you're like, do I want this book? Go listen to today's podcast. You'll get to listen to it. Also, you get some teaching. It's not just me reading, but it's also me reading and teaching. Make sure you listen to the podcast. Trent Shelton Podcast, formerly known as Straight Up. So you might find it under Straight Up. It's called the Trent Shelton Podcast. And like the greatest gift y'all can give me is just supporting the book. You know, whether that's sharing these videos, whether that's actually going to get the book. I don't have an audio version of it yet. That's going to come later because it'll be a whole different experience than the book. So make sure you get the book, even if you're not a reader. Like I said, I got a message the other day that said, I've never read a book in my life, but I can't put this down. And so that made me proud because that's the reason why I wrote it. So just type peace. And I just appreciate the support, y'all. And, I talk to y'all with this much passion and energy because I truly care. I come on these lives. I don't have to, but I come on here because I want y'all to feel me like in real time, to see like this comes from a real place. And I really believe in you. Like I really, really do. I really believe that there's better. I really believe that things can change. I really believe what I'm teaching you guys. Like I really believe, like, I know there's a lot of cute things I could say, like these are the 3 things and all that stuff. But like when it comes down to it, if you don't know your worth, life becomes hard. Because then you depend on everything else to tell you what you're worth. And we live in a world that likes to take advantage of people. So they're going to tell you that you're not worth anything. They're going to tell you that you're worth less than what you're worth. And you'll start believing that. You'll start living like that. You'll start realizing like, man, something feels off. You'll feel disconnected. Like you'll feel if you feel disconnected right now, it's probably because, or one reason could be, you really don't understand your worth. Like every time I felt disconnected, where it's like, man, like I know it should be more synergy here. Like I know it should be, but it's not. It is usually because I've settled in some way in my life, or I accepted something I shouldn't accept it. And I don't want that for you. But I do want you to take ownership. I do want you to know that it's not over for you. I do want you to know you're a choice away from a new beginning. You're a choice away. Your choice. And you can make the choice today to say, you know what, I'm no longer begging for anything no more. I'm not going to beg for them to see me and and for them to value me, or for that to, I'm not begging no more. You know what I mean? I'm going to go live my life. You'll see in this book that I talked about, like there was a time where I was begging for platforms, like begging for people to see me as a speaker and see me as a content creator. Like, please see me. Then I say, you know what? I'm going to just build my own. And y'all see what Rehab Time is today. Over 12 million people just on Facebook alone. And that came from me doing what I'm telling y'all. Right? By me doing what I'm telling y'all. So I want to just tell y'all that. Because I'm not speaking to you from a place of like the mountaintop where I'm like, yeah, this is like, I understand. Like, no, like I go through my valleys too. You know, and I'm always talking to you from a place of like my hardest time in my life and my struggle in my life. Like, that's where I'm talking to you from. Like, I'm not talking from a place of like everything is good. No, like even if I got to go back to 15 years ago where I was at, like I never forgot that time and how I felt. And I'm telling you, like, it was me saying, you know what? God gave me a gift and that's enough. And since he gave it to me, I don't have to beg other people to see it. I just need to use it. I don't have to people say, hey, look at my gift. Look at me. Look at me. Please bring me on your platform. Please share. I don't have to do that. I just use it. And I took what I had, which is this going live. Some of y'all been with me for the last over 10 years of watching me do this. Like, you go back on Facebook and just scroll. Just go back on my Facebook page. Just go back so you know what I'm talking about. Like, you'll see it. Scroll back years. It was this. And that was my way of using my gift and me showing myself that I'm worth it. And so I want everybody to write in the chat the worth motto. The worth motto. I'm worth it. I've been worth it. I will forever be worth it. That's the worth motto. That's what we're going to live by. I'm worth it. I've been worth it. I will forever be worth it. Like, you tell yourself that every single day. That's what I do. Every single day I wake up, I tell myself, Trent, you're worth it. You've been worth it. You will forever be worth it. You go demand your worth. You stand on your worth, and you not let anything or anybody make you feel like you're not. And listen, I'm not exempt from it. This world tries hard to make me feel like I'm not worth it. Like, this world tries hard, but I'm so confident, because I don't want to give too much of this book away, but what you're reading here is like the foundation for actually knowing your worth. And one of them is confidence. Like, I'm so confident in who I am because I've accepted myself. I've accepted my past, my flaws. I accepted myself. I'm so confident in who I am. You know, it's hard for me to believe the perceptions and opinions that this world tries to put on me. You know, so I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I hope this earned a listen on my podcast. Like, if you never listen to my podcast, if you watch me live, you should listen to my podcast, because that's all it is. It's like this, me going in. So go listen to the podcast, Trent Shelton Podcast. That helps me a lot. We're trying to grow the podcast bigger this year. My podcast is different than most, right? It's really giving things from the spirit and soul. It's not just, I do have interviews at times, but it's just me most of the time. 98% of the podcast episodes are me. Just pouring my heart and soul and hopefully giving you something that you can help. So podcasts are great to listen to on the way to work, on the way home from work, on your run, at the gym, even in the supermarket. Like, they're about 30 minutes long. Some of them go 45, but most of them are like 30 minutes long. If you're listening to the podcast, just drop a fire emoji. But I would really greatly appreciate if you would listen to it and share it. Like, you guys sharing, and I'm going to leave after this, but you guys sharing my content and sharing everything, like, is the greatest gift you guys can give me. That's free. Because oh man, if I could just show y'all my inbox and you get to see behind the scenes and like how much that matters. Because I know people always say, hey, share this video. And you're like, oh, okay, I'll share it. But like, the reason I asked y'all to share it, not because I need more followers, like not because any of that, like it's plenty, right? It's because I know there's somebody in the world that needs my message that has no idea who I am. And I know this is true because it happens every day. Like such and such shared you on my, some people like, I don't even know who shared it. I just saw it on my timeline and they're a hero because I would have never found you if I didn't see it. So that share button, maybe nobody likes it. Maybe nobody even comments on your share, but it puts this into the algorithm more where people actually can come across it. Facebook says, oh, this is a video we need to push out more. And so if you feel like this is a message that needs to be heard by somebody, just press share. And just know, even if you don't get liked on your share, somebody comments directly, you're still helping somebody because you're helping it in the algorithm. So that helps me tremendously, even with the book. Like, even if you don't purchase the book, it's okay. But that's telling people about the book or sharing the book, it just helps. Like word of mouth. I think word of mouth is the greatest form of marketing. I think word of mouth is so cool. And you become a hero in somebody's life. So thank you for the support. Thank you for showing up for me. I wish I could be more structured with these lives and times, but my life is very insane in a great way right now, especially with this book release. But I don't know, man. Like, it's something about coming on at the same time every day that, I don't know. I don't want to say makes it feel inauthentic to me, but just like, I like trusting my energy. I like trusting my spirit. And sometimes my spirit says go live at 11. Sometimes it says go live at 7:30. Go live at 10 at night. Go live on Saturday night. Go live on the airplane. You know, like, I know it would be more beneficial if I had a set time. But I've always struggled with that because I never want to come on here just to come on here, right? I want to come on here because I truly have something to say and I truly have something to give to you guys. My book is, you can get on anything pretty much. Yes, Kindle. Just like I say, just go search it. Just go TrentShelton.com. If you want to go to my website, that's an easy way to find it. You get some bonuses with it. Or just go to Amazon or Google. I'm sure it'll pop up Trent Shelton, Protect Your Peace. It'll pop up somewhere. So you guys have a beautiful day. Thank you for all the love, support, the shares, the likes, the comments, your time, your presence. The most important thing, you showing up and giving me your time and presence is like, I never get used to that. Like, I'm like, man, somebody wants to hear what I have to say. That's super cool. So thank you so much. And I'll talk to y'all soon. All right, let's get it. Protect your